Hey, what's up, y'all? Y'all know my slogan. I don't know it all, but I know what I've been through. And today, I'm bringing you a piece on someone that's notorious in the street. Labeled as a kingpin / killer / jackboy / everything in the book when it comes to the streets. Now, some of y'all may know his story and some of y'all don't, so I'm here to bring you the truth about Damion World Hardy. Now, I figured I'll do this piece because y'all know I like covering guys that don't get a lot of recognition but may have been known in the streets. Now a couple people got videos on them. I feel some of them is outdated, so I feel that why wouldn't I bring a nice little video with my twist on it and give y'all a few more details than them other stories, or probably just some of y'all just haven't heard of Damion World Hardy. I hear his name in music, I hear his name come out these rappers' mouths. I may not know the story, so I'm here to give y'all the story. And once again, thank you guys for your support. Don't forget to drop a like on the video after it's done. Without prolonging any further, let's get straight into it. Now, World is currently serving 6 life sentences for everything from conspiring to traffic narcotics, 6 murders in the aid of racketeering, illegal use of firearms, attempted murder, witness tampering, ordering a hit on a state witness who was testifying against a fellow member of his CMB crew, kidnapping, robbery. He was also labeled a gang leader, kingpin, and yeah, man, it's like, that should let you know the level that this guy was on. Now, I'm gonna let that sit with y'all while I give you a few details on who this guy is. Now, Damion World Hardy, aka World. He was born on November 3rd, 1974. He's from Brooklyn, Bedford-Stuyvesant to be exact. Brooklyn, New York, of course. Now, some may ask where did he get such a unique name from, like World? And actually, it came from a basketball player in the 80s by the name of Lloyd Bernard Free. He was also from Brooklyn, but Canarsie. He played on the San Diego Clippers, Philadelphia 76ers, Golden State Warriors, Cleveland Cavaliers, and the Houston Rockets. Now, in 1981, he changed his name from Lloyd Bernard Free to World B. Now, as a kid, World attended Queen of All Saints Elementary School in Fort Greene, Brooklyn, where the rapper and fellow Brooklyn native Biggie Smalls also attended as well. And if I'm not mistaken, World says that he met Lil' Kim in the first grade. So it was also in the same class. So I'll assume that this is the same school that she went to as well. Now, he also reps Islam, and he says that he was born into it. When asked about his religion during a Wendy Williams interview in 2004, he said, listen, quote unquote, I am true Islam, not the fake misrepresented one you see on TV with Farrakhan. Now, if you know anything about the Nation of Islam, I'll tell you that he must have been a brave soul to openly and publicly speak on Farrakhan like that back in them times. Nation don't play when it comes to Farrakhan, man. But then again, that was one of the many statements that some believe is the reason people wanted him silenced in the first place. But we'll get into that later. Now, along with his brother, Myron Wise Hardy, they formed a crew in 1991 called Cash Money Brothers CMB. Now, if that sounds familiar, it's because they got the name from the popular drug kingpin movie of the 90s, New Jack City, which starred Ice-T, Wesley Snipes, and Chris Rock, amongst other 90s actors. Now, back in the day, this movie was like Scarface for black people. Everyone wanted to be like Nino Brown and get the money and live the life like he was. It just so happens that World and his brother happened to really imitate it in real life. Immediately after starting the crew, they waged a war with the LGC, Lafayette Gardens crew, for drug corners and turf so CMB could have control over Lafayette Gardens. Now, you know the rules, may the strongest survive. It's safe to say that CMB survived, and after eliminating plenty of LGC's members, Lafayette Gardens became World and his guys' turf. And for the people that aren't familiar with New York, Lafayette Gardens is a housing project in Bedford-Stuyvesant side of Brooklyn. And it's a little crazy over there. So to have that turf and maintain it, you know what I mean? You definitely have to do your thing. Now, these guys definitely maintained the turf and was known as a violent gang crew in Brooklyn all the way up until 2004 when World was last locked up for as many charges I spoke about earlier. Now, not too long after him and his brother Wise started the dangerous drug dealing group, Wise was killed in 1999 by Daryl Homicide Hamo Bomb due to a drug-related situation. Now, Ivory Peanut Davis was said to be the person who ordered the hit on Wise. Now, during all this, World was serving time in prison for separate charges. Peanut was another drug dealer with his own crew. And with the killing of Wise, even though World was locked up, he raised hell while he was in jail, ordering hits on Peanut's whole crew in the midst of all of that. Alright? Pino was also locked up as well. I said locked up. I'm sorry. Pino was killed in the midst of all that. In a testimony at court against the whole CMB, Dale Simon is his name. He explains talking to Pino at the driver's side of Pino's green Range Rover when the fatal 3 shots rung off in front of a club on Spring Street in Manhattan, New York. He then explained, which I found interesting, that even though Pino was able to drive off, by the time he looked down the block, Dale seen Pino's Range Rover flipped over and Pino hanging out the window himself. Now get this. He said at that point, people began robbing his lifeless body of jewelry, money, or whatever else that was of value that they could find. That's crazy. That's crazy, man. Now, in the midst of that, the shooter has been identified as CMB member Eric eBay Moore. Now, just when you think that was it, there's more. World and Tyson developed a beef between each other where some people are clueless as to where it stemmed from. That beef resulted in a $50,000 bounty being placed on World's head and Tyson coming about 1 minute away from actually losing his life. And here's how. We all know Tyson as a gritty boxer from Brooklyn that had a lot of ties to the street, including everyone from stick-up kids, killers, and hustlers that just got money. Even though World and Tyson never had conflict with one another, remember Daryl Homicide Bomb? Well, he was a very close childhood friend of Tyson. Not to mention, Daryl Homicide Bomb also went by Homo, was Tyson's security and did security for others as well. Now, he wasn't really known as a killer, but Homo was a demon when it came to throwing the hands. Now, also, that name sounds familiar because that's the name who 50 Cent referred to in his song Many Men when he said, quote, in the Bible it says, what goes around come around. Homo shot me 3 weeks later, he got shot down. Now it's clear that I'm here for a real reason because he got hit like I got hit, but he ain't breathing. Now, if you didn't know the real situation, then you would have thought 50 had a hand in that and he was a dude that put any type of work in on Homo. But no, 50 Cent had nothing to do with that, actually. The only statement that was true about that whole situation was pretty much what's his name? Homo shooting 50. So it was just a coincidence that Homo got killed. But like I said, 50 is actually lucky that it wasn't a success. Alright, to his benefit. Now, once again, Homo didn't have any personal beef with 50 Cent either. It was just a hit that Supreme, who was the head of the Supreme team, ordered on 50 Cent at the time. Alright, now that's a whole nother story. As for Homo, it's been reported that the hit was also carried out by CMB member Eric eBay Moore. So that's another body under eBay's belt. Homo was shot once in the back of the head after being lured to a corner of Quincy Street and Marcy Avenue in Brooklyn around 1:40 a.m. by a female acquaintance. Now, listen, man. I'm going to tell y'all this. Leave them females alone. Please leave them females alone. Because it seems to me every time I do a piece on these guys or you hear about somebody dying or getting caught lacking, it's always a female involved. Alright? So now fast forward. Homo was killed in connection to World's brother Wise being killed, and Tyson caught wind that it was World. He then put a $50,000 hit on World in revenge for his childhood friend. World caught wind of this and put a hit right back on Tyson for an unknown amount. We don't know this one. So here's the interesting part. Shortly after putting the hit out on Tyson, CMB members Moo, Taz, Kim, and Desperado were sent to surveillance Tyson's every move. In doing so, they ended up catching him slipping one night in the passenger seat of a parked Range Rover. Another Range Rover. I don't know what's up with these damn Range Rovers. I guess they was like big back in the days. I don't know. But now it's said that CMB member Desperado got out with a shotgun that he was known to have to complete the hit. And as he was walking, another CMB member by the name of Moo stopped him and persuaded him not to follow through with the hit because Tyson is a fellow Muslim and killing another Muslim is against their beliefs. Whew. Now talk about a close one. Just think about if Moo didn't stop him. We'd be saying how great of a boxer Tyson was, rest in peace and blah blah blah, and guess what? It'll be no Tyson to this day. So that's an interesting story that a lot of people actually don't talk about, and when they cover this story with World. That's why, like I said, this is a video that I wanted to do because I feel a lot of other people left out a lot of details. So basically out of those hits, nothing came out of it. Neither one was was affected in any way, and I guess they just deaded it. I don't know, but you haven't heard any more from him. So aside from the street stuff, World became more notable in 2002 when he started dating Lil' Kim. Now, fun fact, him and Kim first met in 2nd grade, I think. Yeah, 2nd grade. I said 1st grade earlier, but I think it was the 2nd grade. Fast forward, World's brother dated her first, and then World dated her after. That's a weird situation. I don't know. But shortly after clicking up, World appeared in videos with Kim and her he appeared in videos with Kim, and he also stayed with her in her New Jersey mansion. Now, allegedly, while World was dating Lil' Kim, he would use that opportunity to try and start his own rap label and also want to rob celebrities at these industry parties. Allen Boo Bryant testified in a Brooklyn federal court that World would call him and he would gather up some guys then to go rob them rappers. Alright? World would quote unquote say things like, a lot of jewelry was going to be there, expensive jewelry. Now that's some words from Boo. After he testified, he basically told that World would set him up and tell him to go rob these rappers at these industry parties. Now it didn't stop there. Boo also testified that World pressured DJs into playing Lil' Kim records and her music more, just so she get more airplay. Now allegedly he tried it with Funkmaster Flex, and his exact words were, I can't satisfy those demands, so World better go ahead and kill me. Now I don't know if I think Flex is that tough the way he said that, because like I said, from what I know and what I hear in the streets, World was really about that life, and we all know Flex ain't really like that. Flex ain't like that. He ain't that tough. So either he really said it or he didn't. I don't know. But that's the word around town. Now on May 3rd of 2017, Flex went on a Twitter rant, and in the midst he tweeted, Lil' Kim tried to put World on me too. I didn't forget. Then they had a back and forth, but to sum it up, Lil' Kim said that she didn't know Flex had that malicious mindset when it came towards her. She didn't know that he felt that way towards her, whatever the case may be. Then she also stated that she made a call that quote-unquote stopped everything. And y'all pretty much know what that means when somebody say they made a call to stop something. Maybe World was going to do some physical harm to Flex. She actually put the word in and had that stop. Who knows? Now, rumor has it also World is solely responsible for Kim's cosmetic surgery due to how bad he would beat on her. Allegedly. Let's say allegedly. Alright? We don't want to put anything on anybody. Alright? Now, also on 2 occasions with G-Unit, World had to show why he was who he was. After 50 Cent dissed Lil' Kim in one of his freestyles while he was up at Hot 97 Funk Flex show, World paid a little visit. Then, in 2003, he allegedly got into a shootout with G-Unit and their entourage outside of a New Jersey Doubletree hotel. Yeah, but no one was harmed though. Now, once again, that just goes to show that that boy had a little bit of pull. Now we're gonna get into something interesting now, because this is what I wanted to talk about. You know, everybody call it conspiracy, blah blah blah, whatever it is. But World was very much involved when it came to the industry. So I think a lot of things that he said that we gotta pay attention to. A lot of people like to sweep it on the rug and just call it conspiracies, but hey, he also accused Kim of trying to get him into homosexuality, and that's where he said he drew the line, and unfortunately him and Kim will call it quits at that point. Alright, so he exposed a lot of celebs, alright, and he always talked about homosexuality within the music industry, correlating it with the Illuminati. You know, the infamous name we always hear. In 2004, he did a Wendy Williams interview and actually spoke very freely against Freemasonry and their rituals, which was very unheard of at the time, and also exposed entertainers that had a hand in it. Now, a few such as 50 Cent, LL Cool J, Diddy, Mace, Jay-Z, Russell Simmons, R. Kelly, Clyde Davis, and so forth, man. He mentioned artists usually partake in these sick things in the industry because they really just want to make some money because they fresh off the street. But they really don't know what they signed up for, and by the time they figure it out, if ever, it's too late. Now, he later then expressed how they faked their death and goes on to say that the case with Biggie and Tupac, they pretty much faked their death. He also hinted that they still alive. Now, like I said, I don't know about that. This is just what this man is talking about. He also spoke about the 9/11 incident, saying that it was an inside job by our own American government. But some of us already knew that. He said the government faked wars for money, and he also said that Ja Rule and 50's beef was really over a transgender woman they both dealt with. And he also says that the main reason him and Kim didn't work out because she's an Eastern Star and it conflicts with his beliefs in Islam. Now, for those that don't know what an Eastern Star is, it's a woman that partakes in lesbianism and supports homosexuality as far as turning other men out within the industry. Like I said, man, these are some strong claims. So for those that want to check that interview out, I'm gonna leave a link below in the description box so you can listen for yourself and come to your own conclusion. Because I don't want y'all to be going off on me. Now, from there, the rest was downhill. An 18-month joint investigation between the FBI and ICE and the U.S. Attorney's Office is what led to world arrest at JFK Airport on August 15, 2004. He was returning from a 4-month religious pilgrimage in the Middle East, where he was also locked up twice on unrelated charges in Morocco and Jordan. Yo, listen, it just seemed like trouble seemed to follow this man. Now, fast forward into the court process, eBay and World was hit with the most and harsher charges, being that they pretty much carried out the hits and orchestrated everything. But others was charged, such as Dwayne Thor Myers, James Popsy Sessoms, Ken Wayne Stroh Jones, Robert Trubb Footman, Carl Big Jim Davis, James Jimbo Faria, Lamont Sambo Johnson, Zara Puff Sarkisian, I don't know if I said it right. Abakar Rahim, Dejebra DJ McMillan, and Asheen Shah Campbell were charged with conspiring between 1991 and August 2004 to distribute crack cocaine using apartments they controlled in Lafayette Gardens to cook, store, and buy the drug. So 13 years, meaning that's how long they've been, following these guys. That's a long time, y'all. That's a long time. Now, it didn't help that Edward Taz Cook and Alan Boo Bryan began snitching on World and CMB. Alright? Now, it's been reported that World changed his name to Issa Ibn Jibril. Isa? I don't know, it's ISA, and then it's Ibn Jibril. I don't know. Whoever can pronounce that, there you go. But even though he changed his name, his ways stayed the same. And this became apparent when he stabbed another inmate during his time in the Metropolitan Correctional Center, MCC, located in Manhattan, New York. Like everyone do, World tried to plead insanity when it was time to stand trial in front like he had schizophrenia, but when it was time to be diagnosed with the actual medication, he refused. But in 2013, judges from an appeals court mandated him to take the medication so he could be competent for trial because he was raising hell against inmates and prison guards. He assaulted a guard with a sock and a battery. He put piss in an old toothpaste bottle and splashed it on guards, amongst other things. So even though he was indicted in 2004, his case was ongoing for 11 years until he was finally sentenced in 2015, and he was ruled schizophrenic. Now, World got somewhat of a break, well, him and eBay. Because even though many of us may still think it isn't, but U.S. Attorney General Eric Holder of the Obama administration reversed the decision to give World and eBay death by lethal injection on Thursday, May 29, 2014, granting them life in prison rather than instant death. So, like I said, to me, I think he came off a little bit. So, like I said, some may think not, but it is what it is. Now, the story that's out there is CMB members that carried out hits. When the investigation went on and everyone was indicted, they folded and snitched. But apparently what a lot of people don't know is this. eBay did an interview with GorillaConvict.com, and he said that when World came home from his prior jail sentence, he left the streets alone cold turkey and just did music. He tried to mingle his way into the music business. It was Taz and Boo that was caught trying to receive 8 kilos of cocaine at JFK Airport. The keys had nothing to do with World or CMB. It was only for Taz and Boo's gang. But for less time, they ended up trying to snitch on any and everyone that was around CMB or affiliated, whatever it was. Now, eBay went on to say that even though the government said them two were a part of CMB, they weren't. Taz was just around because he was a Muslim brother of World, and Boo was sniffing coke when they were younger, so World stopped messing with him and threw him out CMB a long time ago. He was also envious of World because when he was locked up north, World had a threesome with his girlfriend at the time, so Boo was already tight at that and jealous. Now, Taz's reason for snitching was because he was with his baby mother when they went to go get the kilos at JFK, and the feds threatened to take their kids away. So he made up stories and what he thought was true from the outside looking in, because remember, he was never truly a part. So to this day, eBay says the feds tied him to a RICO organization that don't even exist. Alright, now there's a whole lot more to the story, because as you dig deeper and deeper, I find out more and more, and also come to the realization that really the government just wanted World and CMB team to disappear at any cost, man. I always tell people this: when the feds want you, they're gonna get you no matter what. So I urge anyone that's young and think you want to partake in these streets to learn from these guys, because before you make that decision, man, your life could be over just like this in a New York minute. The system does not play fair, and at the end of it all, they usually always come out on top, and that's really it. There's nothing you can do about it, man. Now here it is that these guys got life due to hearsay, which I just learned recently that in California that's actually legal. So no evidence, just hearsay. Now I'm not saying these guys were angels, but there's a proper way of convicting someone, and that isn't it. Alright, it's not it. Now the streets is dangerous, y'all. It's not only the people you have to watch out for, it's also the system. So let that be a lesson for anyone wanting to be a part of the streets, thinking that it's all glitz and glamour and fast money and women, because you know that's all you see on TV. What they don't show you is tens of thousands you got to pay to your lawyer, or the tens of thousands for bail money, or having to call your girl and tell her that you can't see her for the next 5 years, and you know she ain't waiting for you, man. One thing I learned in my situation is that people's life just don't stop just because you in there. Alright, just remember that you got yourself in that situation, you got to get yourself out, and you can't blame nobody else. Alright, so I'm going to wrap this up here, y'all. This video was already long as hell. I hope y'all learned something. If you did, smash that like button. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, hit that bell so you're notified every time I drop new content. Once again, thank y'all for y'all continuous support. We almost at 500 subscribers. Alright, now y'all know my slogan, man. As long as y'all keep watching, I'm going to keep dropping. And I'm out.